Paddington 2 is the sequel to Paddington, which is an adaptation of the Paddington book series. So the story of Paddington 2 is it follows Paddington, who is still living with the Brown family in London, and he's very popular in his community, and his Aunt Lucy's 100th birthday is right around the corner, and he wants to give her a very special present for her, and that's when he comes across a very valuable pop-up book about London, and he wants to give the book to her as a present, but that's when trouble ensues when the book gets stolen by Phoenix Buchanan, who is played by Hugh Grant, and Paddington gets framed for it, and he gets thrown in jail. Now, before I get into my thoughts on what I thought of Paddington 2, I'm going to share my quick thoughts on what I thought of the first Paddington. Honestly, I really enjoyed the first Paddington. I thought it was a great movie. It really surprised me. I thought it was going to be just this generic kids movie, but it turned out to be a very funny and surprisingly touching movie. And I even own it on Blu-ray, so as you guys can tell, I was very excited for Paddington 2. So let's get right into it. Paddington 2 was fantastic. I love this movie. Heck, I'll even go as far as saying I actually thought it was better than the first one. And as you all may know, it's very rare for a sequel to be better than its predecessor. I mean, there's been some great sequels in the past, like for example, Godfather Part 2, Empire Strikes Back, The Dark Knight, the Toy Story sequels, and just recently, Blade Runner 2049. And I do believe Paddington 2 joins those other sequels as being one of the best sequels ever made. So let's talk about the things that I love from this movie, because there are a handful of things that I love from this movie. First of all, Paddington. I mean, how can you not love this character? He's so likable. Every time Paddington was on screen, I just wanted to hug him. He's so sweet, and he's just so adorable. And seeing Paddington in the jail was so funny, and it was definitely one of my favorite parts of the movie. And in the prison, a new character named Knuckles, who is played by Brendan Gleeson, he is the prison chef. He is the new character in this movie, and I really liked his character. He was definitely one of my favorite parts of the movie as well. And here's another thing that I loved from this movie. It was the villain, Phoenix Buchanan, who was played by Hugh Grant. As much as I really loved the first Paddington, the one issue that I had with it was the villain, who was played by Nicole Kidman. I thought she was pretty weak, and I just didn't think she was a memorable villain. She just came off as just like this Cruella de Vil knockoff. The villain in this movie is much better. I love this villain, and this is probably the best Hugh Grant has been in a long time. Every time Grant was on screen, he looked like he was having so much fun in this movie. And honestly, I don't blame him, because I had so much fun watching this guy. And just like with the first Paddington, Paddington 2 had a very heartfelt message about always be kind and polite and always treat others with respect. So overall, guys, I had a total blast with Paddington 2. It is definitely a sequel that I think is surprisingly better than its predecessor. It was funny, it was heartwarming, it was action-packed, it was simplistic, it had a great message. It's a movie for everyone. I give Paddington 2 an A+. Alright guys, that's it for my review of Paddington 2. And I have a question for you guys. Have you seen Paddington 2 yet? What did you think of it? Did you think it was better than the first one, or did you not think it was quite as good as the first one? Or, if you haven't seen it yet, what is the best sequel ever made in your opinion? Whatever it is, just comment below. And if you want to see more of my videos, just be sure to subscribe.